Welcome back to another episode of We're All Sick of Kung Lao cameo. So this has been a really highly requested video, and I was super excited to make it. People wanted an in-depth Raiden tutorial, so this is it. It's going to be a long one, and I'm going to separate it into 3 different parts. So part 1 is going to be Raiden as a character by himself and things to do with him without a cameo. Part 2 is going to be the cameos that I think really thrive with him. It's just going to be a quick go-through of the main stuff that makes those cameos work with Raiden. And then part 3 is going to be a full tier list of which cameos I think work with Raiden the best. It is not going to be a tier list of how good the cameos are. It's going to be a tier list based on their synergy with Raiden. But with all that being said, my name is Raiden, and enjoy the video. Alright, so the first part is going to be me going over Raiden without a cameo. I'm going to start off with his most basic strings that just work the best. Starting off with his 1, 2, 3. Pretty standard string, honestly. 1-2 is going to be a very good punisher as it starts off at 7 frames, and then 1-2 is going to be +1. 1-2-3 does end in a high, however, meaning that it can be neutral, ducked, and punished, but if they do block it, it is going to be +3. So 1-2 is going to give you options. This is going to be a true block string. That right there is real. Now, if you do think they're going to try to contest your +1, there are a few things you can do. The only person who can make you trade here is going to be Johnny with a 6 frame down 1. So I currently have Omni-Man set to do a down 1 on frame 1 for reversal, so this is the option that you have access to. That is going to punish every single time. There are only a couple of characters who are actually able to stop that, being Sub-Zero and Johnny. Sub-Zero has the longest reaching down 1 in the game, and then Johnny has the fastest down 1 in the game. So those two are going to be able to stop you. If you do it consistently against every single character, it will work. Now, eventually, they're going to notice that you keep on hitting them with the back 2, so they're going to just start blocking, in which case you can enforce 1, 2, 3, which is going to be +3 on block. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be his stand 2 string. His stand 2 string on its own is just pretty bad. You need a cameo to be able to cover it and make it better. His stand 2 string on block, if you do the whole thing, is just going to be minus. Super unsafe, not worth it. It has gaps all over the place. Like, you can go gap. However, it does have some upsides. 2-4 is a good stagger at -6. 2-4-2 is another good stagger at -6. If people are really trying to armor it, they're going to armor there, in which case you can block, bait it out, and then get the punish. The other good thing about the stand 2 is that on block, it is +3, meaning that you can enforce this mix-up. His down 3 is going to be 10 frames. Throws universally are also 10 frames. So the mix-up here is throw or down 3. If you keep on throwing them and they predict it, you can down 3 them because they're trying to neutral duck or because they're trying to tech it. And that is going to confirm you can go into another stand 2. Back into the frame trap, into more mix-up. So the other button that I want to mention with Raiden is going to be his overhead, his back 2. Starts up at 19 frames and it hits for 8% damage. It is going to be +32 on hit with a splat. So what that means is after it hits, you can get a double dash, and then you are going to be right in their face before they even get up. This button is crazy good. It is a really good complement to his forward 4. Another string that Raiden has is forward 3-4. Forward 3-4 is not very good in neutral. People like to use it often, don't. There are very specific circumstances that you can get it to work, but majority of the time it won't, and let me show you why. So I'm currently playing as Omni-Man. I have Raiden set to do his full forward 3-4 string, and then I also have him set on the other one to do forward 3 stagger into down 1. Now allow me to show you why this doesn't work. I'm going to have him do his full forward 3-4 string, and I'm just going to hit down 1. Now I'm going to be able to get a full combo because he's airborne. If he decides to do a forward 3 into a stagger to down 1, and I do the exact same option, I'm going to beat him. That doesn't mean it is absolutely useless. You can start showing them that you're going to do forward 3 and block, in which case they're going to respond with a down 1, and then you can respond with your own down 1 immediately and get your punish. Down 1s universally can punish other down 1s on block. And then once you've shown them that you are going to block their down 1, what you can start doing is doing stuff like that. Alternatively, you can do forward 3 into forward 4. Like that's when you could start doing it as long as you have already conditioned them. Otherwise, if you just expect it to work on its own, it's not going to. The other launching string that he has is going to be 3-4. This string in neutral is not good. Don't use it. It is okay for punishing because it is 12 frames. And it does give him his highest damage for a combo, but it is not very consistent because you need to be right in front of their face and it needs to be higher than -12. It is an okay anti-air. It is very situational, but it does work sometimes. But do not throw it out in neutral because if they block it, it is what it is. You're -6. You cannot special cancel it, so there's nothing more that you can do. You're just going to be -6, and that's the end of it. It's not punishable, so they're not going to be able to punish you no matter what, but you can't really wiggle your way out of it either, so it's not not very good to just throw out. Another one of his good strings is going to be his forward 2-2-4. It is going to end with a knockdown being low. Now, this string is very good. The advancement on it is really strong. It goes from about this range, which is exactly the range where Raiden wants to play at. It starts up at 18 frames, so it is going to be really good. It can be used as a shimmy tool because you can just walk at them and try and bait out a throw, in which case they get hit by the mid. The second hit is a high, so it is not very good on meaty because if you try and do it in the forward 2 whiffs, they can just down one you out of it. It does about 78.50 damage, so it does give you one of your higher damage standing buttons. It is a very good string to just use in neutral, so definitely get comfortable with it. And the final string that I want to talk about is going to be his forward 4. This string is godlike. This is one of the best strings in the entire game. Starts up at 15 frames, hits low, low, low. Every single part of it is going to be safe. -3, -6, and then -7. Every single part of it is safe. It is very good. It low profiles tons of highs. It is just crazy good. Another thing you can do is the same sort of stand 1-2 pressure with that. You can go like this. You can do the same sort of thing. It's not as consistent because it's not plus. It's only -3, but it does work because you're constantly going to be using this string. This is one of the best strings in the game. You want to always be using it. So people are expecting the entire string, in which case they see the stagger, they react late to the stagger, try and steal a turn with down 1, where you then backdash forward 2 and get a full punish. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't actually know about is that it can beat out Serena cameo. I currently have Omni-Man set to do forward 4-1 back cameo and then block as soon as he can. So watch what happens if he goes for that. You're going to get a full combo punish literally every single time, as well as hitting Serena. So she's going to be out for a little bit, at least until the duration of the combo is done. It is just very good for beating out that Serena spam. Definitely use that against the Serena matchup. It is unbelievably useful because you're just going to show them you will not be using this on block. Now, one thing I want to talk about is going to be his combos. You do forward 4-3, very simple combos, and you end it in forward 2-2 shocker. Everyone's seen this a million times. We all know what it looks like. We all expect it. What I really like to do is I like to end combos in back 2. You're sacrificing a little bit of damage, but you're going to be getting a lot more frame advantage, and you're going to be able to get a lot more pressure from it as well. You can hit that back 2, and like I just said, you can do a double dash into pressure. It is very, very strong. If you're using the right cameo as well, you can get a whole lot more mileage from the overhead because you can do certain like setups and stuff depending on who you're using. Like I just said, everyone's seen the Raiden combo, and you can actually use that to your advantage. Rather than ending with forward 2-2 shocker, if you want to side switch, you can do stand 3 teleport. You're going to be +5 on hit and in their face. So from here, you can enforce forward 4, 1-2, or forward 2. They're not expecting to get up so fast, so more likely than not, they won't be doing a delayed get up, and they're not going to be doing an armored get up, which means that you can really start enforcing that pressure on knockdown. What I really like to do in this situation is throw. 90% of the time, they are not ready for that throw because, like I said, they're not ready to be getting up so early. So a lot of times, that throw is just confirmed damage. It works so well as long as you're mixing it up with your other knockdown options. But like if your back is towards the corner, you can definitely do that as your knockdown very consistently, and like they're not ready to get up so early, so you can just do this sort of stuff and it will work very consistently and very well. So now I want to go over his special moves. His electric fly in this game is just kind of okay, I guess. It's very slow on startup. It has armor if you meter burn it, but because it's so slow, it can be beaten out by like very standard 1-2 strings and that sort of stuff. So definitely beware of that. It's not the greatest armored reversal or armored wake up, so definitely just be aware of it. One thing that is good though, it is massively plus on hit if you hit it in the air. That is +43, and then obviously it has good corner carry as well. It is +38 if you do it on the ground, which is also very good, but it's not as good as the aerial version. So but the issue of it being so slow is that it's very difficult to actually get in combos. But you can do it sometimes, you just need to know when. It works very consistently after a meter burn shocker, and typically it'll work after a forward 3-4 mid combo. You're sacrificing a little bit of damage, but it is going to give you that corner carry. The other move that I want to talk about is going to be shocker. This is one of those special moves that no matter how much gravity has been spent in the combo, it will hit the exact same way every single time. So, like I said, that makes it very consistent into comboing into an electric fly. It also allows you to combo into your fatal blow every single time. That will work every single time as long as you're able to get the launch. One thing that a lot of people don't talk about, it is such a good anti-air. Nobody uses this as an anti-air when you should be. If you're not confident in your stand 1, your stand 3, or your stand 2, and they keep on baiting out your up blocks, go for it. It is going to work so consistently. Another thing that people don't really know about, you can hold it. So if they're in that range and they decide to jump and you react to their jump, sit here and hold it. They're going to eventually run into it because this hurt box is so stupid large. It is going to hit so consistently. So definitely just throw that thing out as an anti-air. Now I want to talk about his teleport. His teleport in this game is also just kind of okay. It only has one option as opposed to the other 3 games. In MK9 he could change it, in MK11 he could change it, in MKX he could change it. In this game he can only go behind you. He obviously has that meter burned option, but that is not worth it. Don't ever use this. Look, I just spent 2 bar for 31%. It is trash. It is safe on block, but it is not good at all. Don't use it ever. Now, if you're using the right cameo, you can cover it and you can actually be able to get a safe teleport because this is normally punishable on reaction. So you need to use the right cameo in order for it to work. One thing that it is good at is if you predict a projectile, you can teleport behind it, but I mean, Raiden's always been able to do that, so nothing new there. It is usable, but it's not amazing. And the final special move that I want to touch on is going to be his electromagnetic storm. Obviously, we've all seen this move. You know how it works. It is minus 12 on block with a little bit of knockback, so if they're not on their toes, they're not going to be able to get a very good punish for it. The meter burn version is safe. If they get hit by it, you confirm it into a combo. It's very standard special move, very good. Certain cameos are going to be able to get you a lot of mileage from this move right here. And the last special move that I really want to note on is going to be his projectile. His projectile starts up at 25 frames. It's definitely one of the better projectiles in the game. If you hit it from here and they block it, it's going to be massively plus on block, so you can just kind of machine gun this thing. Obviously, you can charge it. If you do it meterless, it is very slow. But if you're using the right cameo, you can cover that. And you can force them to block as you're charging it up. If you meter burn it, you can charge it faster. Very good. You can do this on block in certain situations, but I would not recommend it. But it does work a lot of times. So now I'm going to talk about some of the notable cameos that kind of work really well with Raiden, and I'm going to start out with Sector. I made a whole video on Sector and Raiden, on why I think it is Raiden's best cameo. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. There's a lot to it. It's a very, very good cameo, so I'm just going to go over the basics here. Now, what Sector offers Raiden is going to be option selects, setups, and plus frames. So the option select, starting off with his stand 2. I said previously that his stand 2 on its own is very bad. If you use the right cameo, you can make it pretty good. So watch. This is what you can do on block. It's still going to be your turn. On hit, you can go, in which case, you get his biggest combo. This combo is going to be doing about 47%. Very, very good option to just be able to throw out there. It's going to definitely give you good options off of his stand 2 string outside of just the regular stand 2 being +3 option. Timing for that, you do 2-4 cameo, 2-1, and then if it hits, you do your projectile. If it blocks, you just let the whole string rock. Obviously, there's still a gap, but you can bait it out just like I said. Another really good option select is going to be off of his forward 4. If you do forward 4 cameo 3, down back 3, on hit, you can do this. Really good option select because on block, you're going to get this. Really good stuff. That's going to be plus on block. It has a gap, but only certain characters are actually able to punish it. The other thing that I want to mention, he gets really good setup. If you do your back 2 ender, you can do like a forward 2. That's going to launch on hit, and it's going to be plus on block. Alternatively, you can do your back 2, call up Sector, forward 4-3, projectile. That's going to be plus on block, and it's going to give you your biggest combo on hit. Now, they can just neutral duck the projectile down to you, in which case, you can do this. Now they're going to get hit, and it's going to be a full launch. It's obviously a little bit less damage, but it will work as well. Another thing that Sector provides, he allows you to combo into Fatal Blow mid-combo. That timing is a little bit difficult. The way that you need to do it is right before the lightning bolt hits. That's when you need to call up Sector. So when you do Shocker, right there. right before the lightning bolt hits. That's the timing. And then one of the things the sector is really going to help you with is zoning. So like I said, you need the right cameo to be able to cover this because it's a really long startup. So what you can do, you can meter burn a regular one, send it, and then as it's flying, call up sector. While sector's on the screen and the missile is going to go hit them, you can start charging your slow one because now they're forced to block sector's missile, in which case you can get the timing to charge that and then you can send it. The second cameo that I want to touch on is going to be Goro. Goro is going to give you really good meterless combos and really good frame advantage. So what Goro is going to give you, frame advantage on this. That's going to be anywhere between the +3 to +9 range. That's how you're going to know that you jailed it. So the timing for this, you're going to do regular cameo in between the 4th and the 5th hit. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, call it. If it hits, you do down cameo. And if they block it, you just count the hits, and right between 4 and 5 is when you call Goro. Right in between the second to last and the last hit, that's when you call Goro. That is going to be completely real, and they cannot honor that. Now, if it hits, you get your combo. Very, very easy combo. Good damage. Super simple to do. That's it right there. Now, another thing that he's going to give you is you can do the same combo from Shocker. That's going to give you a little bit more damage if you want to spend the cameo. He's also going to give you a really good combo off of your forward 2. This combo does too much damage for how easy it is. The other combo that he's going to give you is off of 1, 2, 3. You can convert just like that. That combo is a little bit more difficult. You need to time it so that right before Raiden's foot hits your opponent's face, that's when you call Goro. Now, the other thing that he can help you with, he gets mix-ups kind of off of this because obviously this grab hits overhead and he has a forward 4 string. Very self-explanatory, but if I have him blocking low, you can get this combo. Very, very easy combo. Now, you might just be able to react to Goro coming out, in which case you can just do this instead. Now you're going to be plus. Or, if they react to Goro coming out and they block overhead, the second part of the forward 4-3 is going to hit them, in which case you can commit to that if you want to, although it's really unsafe. Now, what they're going to have to start reacting to is the pose that Raiden takes. And the last cameo that I want to talk about is actually going to be an unpopular one with Raiden, but I think it is one of his best. Is going to be Striker. He's going to give you similar options to Lexus Sector off of his stand 2 string. You just need to time back cameo as soon as the second to last hit lands. And if you notice they hit, you just go straight into Shocker rather than calling up Striker. Off of his forward 4 string, you're going to go forward 4 back cameo 3-4, in which case that's going to hit like that. And the combo is going to be this. That one's a little bit difficult, but on block it is going to be plus, and on hit is going to be a confirm. He can also combo off of his forward 2-2-4 similar to Goro. Although his damage is even better. Completely ridiculous, hitting 40% so easily. One thing that you can also do is you can get a teleport mid combo. This combo is also hitting very good, and it's a side switch, and then on block, it is also a side switch, and you're still plus. And then another thing that I want to mention with Striker is going to be his corner damage. That combo right there is going to be so easy, and it gives you such good damage. You obviously don't have to spend 2 Striker, but you can if you want to get really good damage. So that combo is going to be very, very good in the corner. And finally, he gives you really good mid-screen combos as well. You can do this combo. To get you 38% very consistently. Timing for this one is going to be as Raiden is coming down from the forward 4-3 string, you call up forward cameo. In which case, after it hits, you need to do a dash and then forward 3-4. If you don't do that dash, it is going to whiff. But that is going to do it for part 2. Alright, and then for the final part of this video, we are going to be doing the tier list of the best cameos with Raiden. Obviously at the top we have Raiden's best, and then we have really good with him, pretty okay with him, doesn't work, and then obviously Shujinko because I mean, he's the outlier. It's going to depend on who you're fighting with him. So starting off with Cyrex, I'm going to have to put him in pretty okay with him. Pre-patch, I would have put him as Raiden's best, but post-patch, he kind of can do the same thing. He gets pretty good combos. Like, it works, but it doesn't work as good as it once did. Next off, Darius, I'm gonna just straight up have to put in doesn't work. I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make Darius work. I just can't seem to, like, I just can't get it. He just does not work with Raiden. If anybody else knows how to get Darius to, like, consistently work as a good cameo, not just like good combos and stuff, like to actually give him a lot, definitely let me know, but I could not figure anything out. For Frost, I'm gonna have to put in pretty okay with him. Frost doesn't really give Raiden anything special outside of like just the normal Frost stuff. You can obviously do the carpet of ice on projectile read, but I mean, that's nothing new to Raiden. Frost can just do that with everybody. No real scenario for you to be able to set off her ice bomb, and then obviously being able to get that like really crazy frame advantage is helpful, but other cameos can just kind of do more for him. Goro going straight into Raiden's best. Obviously, I explained it in the video. Goro is just crazy with Raiden. Goro is just a generally really good cameo. Definitely plays on Raiden's strengths and just amplifies them like crazy. Jax, I'm gonna have to put in really good with him. I mean, pretty obvious. Gives him pretty good damage. Very consistent damage. He's still got those unblockable setups. He gets really good corner damage. He gets those really good corner setups. Like, it's just very good. And then with the energy wave, you can just like put yourself in a neutral situation where Raiden just absolutely dominates in the neutral. So definitely a really good cameo for Raiden. Kano, I'm going to have to put in really good with him as well. Obviously, he does similar to what Goro does, but he does have a gap that you can punish with Raiden's electromagnetic storm, so beware of that. But the reason I'm putting him here and not here is because you can use Kano in order to like make your teleport safe. He gives you a little bit of extra combo damage, and just that electromagnetic storm pressure is really good if they don't have the meter. You can also use that to force them to spend their bar. If you have a ton of health remaining and they have like no health and they don't feel like taking the chip damage, they just want to get out of it. So then you force them to spend maybe their only bar, in which case now you take barely any damage because all that it is just an armor reversal. And then they use their bar and then boom, you're right back in it. Kung Lao, I'm going to have to put in pretty good with him. With the state that Kung Lao was in, I couldn't see Kung Lao being anywhere below this for any character. Kung Lao, while he doesn't really offer Raiden anything special, he's such a good cameo that everything that he does is just crazy good on top of everything that Raiden does. It's just a big, like, mixing bowl of just a bunch of stuff that just is all really good put together, you know? So there's no way that it's just going to be bad. Motaro for me is a bit of an outlier because I don't know whether to put him in pretty okay with him or doesn't work. I'm kind of leaning more towards doesn't work, but I don't know if I really want to say that because there's certain things that he can do that are like pretty okay. So I think I'm just going to put him in pretty okay with him because he gives you that frame advantage. His teleport is better than Raiden's, but it is also reactable, so it's still not very good. Not very good consistent way to set up his down cameo for using his full bar. And you know, yeah, I'm leaning more towards doesn't work. I don't see Motaro working very well. If you want to use Motaro, just use Kung Lao. Kung Lao is Motaro but better for Raiden. Serena is really good with him actually. It gives him really good damage. It gives him more projectiles. That meter drain is always really good. It's just very consistent. You can definitely just throw out Serena's back cameo to just get you some of that chip damage from mid-screen. Like, and if they get hit by it, cool, you're getting a full combo. Don't expect it to hit, but you can definitely just throw that thing out and it'll work. Scorpion, I'm going to put in just pretty okay with him because, I mean, he kind of just gives you big combos, but he doesn't really help you out very much in any other situation. I labbed him extensively. His overhead is never a real mix-up. It's just, he's just kind of okay. Sector is going to be one of Raiden's best. I would put these two definitely at the Raiden's best. I've explained extensively why I think Sector is Raiden's best. I'm actually just going to do that because I think Sector is Raiden's best cameo hands down. number 1. I have a whole video explaining why I think Raiden and Sector is the absolute best combo for Raiden. Shujinko, I'm definitely going to have to put in Raiden's... No, I'm kidding. He's going to Shujinko tier. Sonya, I'm going to put in pretty okay with him. Doesn't really offer him very much. Does offer him a quicker projectile, but Raiden's projectile is already really good. So, I mean, not really much there. You can get meterless combos, with which Raiden does really struggle with, but just use Goro at that point if you're really looking for your meterless combos, you know? Striker, I'm tempted to put in Raiden's best, but I don't think that's exactly the case. I'm going to have to put in... yeah, I'm going to do really good with him. He's definitely not up to tier with Sector and Goro, so I'm going to have to put him there. But, I mean, I explained him in my video. He's a very, very good cameo, so definitely going to put him here. Like, strong, really good with him. Not quite Raiden's best, but strongly here. And Sub-Zero, I'm gonna probably have to... I'm leaning more towards pretty good with him because he gives him really... I think I'm just gonna put him in pretty okay with him. He works. He does help you with your zoning. He does help him get in a little bit as well with the anti-zoning. So but that move is just... it helps him out in both situations. And then... he also has his cold shoulder, which is going to reset to neutral, which, yeah, I'm going to put him in really good with him, actually. Because cold shoulder resets back to neutral, and then he has that freeze, which is just going to give you really good damage. But, so yeah, this is the tier list that I would put Raiden's cameos for. Definitely these two being the best. These ones are definitely really good. Use them. These ones can work, but I don't see it. I'm like, it can work, but definitely just... what these characters offer, these ones offer, but better. And then these two I would never use. Unless I was like memeing. And then Shujinko. Obviously, this is not like I'm not saying Jax is better than Serena or anything. Like, it's in no definitive order other than Raiden's best. Really good with him. Like, these ones are the definitive order. But the two, other than this one, Sector's the best, Goro's the second best, and then all of these interchangeable, and Shujinko. And then obviously don't take my word as gospel, but definitely do your own labbing, figure it out yourself. This is how I feel about his cameos. So just take it all with a grain of salt. It's all my opinion. Just do whatever you want with whatever cameos you want. But yeah, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go back to recording this video another 3 times because I just can't seem to get my audio levels correct. Thank you for watching this far into the video. Bye.